What do you think the parents of beheaded journalist James Foley think about President Obama going golfing right after talking to the nation about their executed son? Well, they told us what they think. John and Diane Foley going on the record. But first, this weekend, another horrific beheading by ISIS, and this time a British aid worker executed and taped and put on the internet. ISIS is pure evil, and they're holding more hostages, including Americans. Representative Peter King is on the Homeland Security Committee. He joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Greta.
Well, obviously, ISIS is not deterred by our strategy, at least not yet. I mean, they executed a third. Your thoughts tonight, sir?
Well, first of all, this just proves, Greta, that they are an evil, diabolical organization, and we have to do everything possible to destroy them. You cannot negotiate with them. You cannot take any kind of conciliation. These are animals. They have to be killed and destroyed. And quite frankly, I don't think the president has shown yet that he really has the heart to go forward. It's always like one step forward and one step sideways. I'm pretty old-fashioned. I want to support the president as commander-in-chief, but so far he has not shown me that he is fully committed to this.
All right. What we're hearing, the strategy is to arm the Syrian rebels in Syria again. But the problem with that is that as they arm them against ISIS, but if they're successful, aren't we helping President Assad of Syria? And he's a guy who gasses his people. So what are we going to do?
Well, of the two, I think the more serious threat right now is ISIS. But having said that, I still have questions about arming the Free Syrian Army now. I mean, this would have been more successful 2 or 3 years ago. If we're serious about going after ISIS, we can't be waiting for the Free Syrian Army to be trained and equipped. That's going to take months and months, and even then, it's going to be difficult to vet them, to get them in fighting shape, to get them ready, and against a formidable foe, which may have 15 to 30,000 armed men and women in ISIS, certainly armed men. So, and again, as far as Assad, again, we put ourselves in this position, but I think we have to make it clear that we're not here in any way to help Assad. He may be a short-term beneficiary, but in the end, our goal has to be to destroy ISIS, and then we cannot allow Assad to continue in power either.
Well, here's what we have been clear about. On September 10th, President Obama addressed the nation, and he told ISIS there will be no American boots on the ground, so they don't have to worry about that one.
Well, first of all, you should never, ever tell the enemy what you're not going to do. You shouldn't even tell them what you are going to do. We should put ISIS in a position where they are fearful that we're going to use every possible weapon, every possible troop at our disposal, and then the president can decide what he wants to do. I don't believe that we need a large amount of American boots on the ground as far as full combat operations. But we should rule nothing out. And we are going to have to use American troops for special operations. We are going to have American troops embedded with the Iraqis and also with the Kurds. And there could be a time when we will have to use American troops on the ground. And for the president to keep ruling it out, to me, that sends a bad signal, not just to ISIS, who is our enemy, but also to countries that were trying to get into a coalition, because they still have not gotten the faith back that they lost last year when President Obama bailed out on them after he said he was going to bomb Syria, got certain countries to stand with us, and then pull the rug out.
Well, what do you think of the president's overall strategy? Is it going to beat ISIS, kill them, destroy them, or is it going to tread water, or is it going to enable them to get bigger and stronger?
Well, the announced policy is to destroy them, but unless he does more...
No, but what's going to happen? I mean, with his announced policy, are we going to beat them, kill them, or are we going to tread water and basically maintain, or are they going to get bigger?
Well, depending on when you listen to him, he has stated that his policy is to destroy ISIS. I think, though, that unless this policy is implemented immediately and forcefully and expanded on, we are not going to destroy ISIS. We're going to get involved in a war of attrition, and it's hard to win a war of attrition against people who don't care whether they live or die or not. And that will just wear down the American people, which I think is what ISIS is looking for. Wear us down. So he has to go all out, and so far he has not shown he's willing to do that.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
Greta, thank you.
And now we continue our interview with the parents of journalists